Hello, my name is Patricia Pinder, and this is my action research proposal for my Introduction to Educational Research here at Grand Canyon University. This proposal is to explain the action research project that I've been working on this semester of assessing student work habits to increase student engagement and motivation in a classroom. Student work habits include behaviors, attitudes, strategies that students use when approaching academic tasks and assignments, as well as lesson activities in a classroom. This research action project hopes to connect the student engagement and motivation to the work habits such as attendance, punctuality, homework completion, and participation. This is an area of educational practices that aren't usually studied, and my hope is to bring a positive light to this connection to be able to increase the motivation and to be able to increase academic performance. This study hopes to answer the following questions to increase engagement and motivation. Question number one: how does assessing students' habits of work affect their motivation in class? Question number two: what is the relationship between weekly habits of work scoring and student engagement behaviors in a classroom? And question number three: in what ways do students perceive the assessment of their work habits to influence their effort and their interest in class? Data collection for the study will be a mixed methodology of qualitative and quantitative methods. Some qualitative methods include using student journals for students to reflect on how they view assessment of habits of work and the connection to their academic performance, using teacher observations of habits of work and how they improve from pre implementation and post implementation of interventions, as well as having students and teachers conference for teachers to be able to give constructive feedback to their students and hopefully set goals for students to continue to improve. Quantitative methods for this research include using student grades pre-implementation, during implementation, and post-implementation, as well as student homework completion pre, during, and post, as well as student survey data on work habits and motivation and pre and post implementation. There are some key stakeholders in this, being the participant, the researcher, and the decision maker. The student is the participant because they are the ones that will be doing the tasks by reflecting on the interventions and benefiting hopefully from those interventions with higher engagement and academic performance. The teacher will be the researcher, as they will be the one collecting the data, making the observations, and analyzing the data, hopefully with the benefits, with the ability to make targeted lessons for students and their needs. And finally, the administration. They are the ones who will be the decision makers, as they will be using the data results to make data driven decisions for the schools to hopefully benefit the school climate, performance, and test scores. The timetable for this action research plan is about 14 weeks. This includes pre implementation, planning, professional development, collecting baseline data from the students and gathering information and observations from the teachers, implementation of the interventions, including weekly assessment of work of habits, teacher observations, student reflections, and a break halfway through for teachers to be able to give feedback and conference with students and hopefully set some goals. And then some post implementation of assessment of the success of these students of works, where they can administer some student surveys and collect some data. The proposed timeline is as follows: project planning for a week, pre implementation for a week. This includes PD, baseline assessment for a week, implementation of the interventions for about 3 weeks. This includes those weekly grades and being able to have students complete journals. Halfway through, midpoint evaluation and monitoring with time for teacher and students to confer and set goals. Then we have continued intervention again, post implementation of assessments, a data analysis, report writing, and reflection and time to present their findings to all stakeholders. Some expected results are as follows. So it's anticipated that the students will have a measurable increase in both engagement and motivation, which will lead to more consistent participation in class, extended periods of sustained attention, and a higher level of persistence when confronted with challenges, improvement in work habits that will also improve in academic performances, and our ultimate goal that students can create a greater self awareness for them to be able to take leadership and ownership of their academic performance. Future applications are not just for the students who will hopefully have an increase in academic performance with stronger work habits, but that teachers can deepen their understanding how these work habits influence the student's success so they can refine their instructional practices to better support student regulation, goal setting, giving feedback on work habits, and to implement any targeted interventions that they have observed in their students' behavior. They also have an improvement in the classroom environment to be able to have the classroom evolve from just a traditional classroom to one that has a greater responsibility, effort, engagement by students, and allowing students to take ownership of their work and participation. And finally, for those decision makers, that administrators can use data driven decisions to enhance the learning environment for all learners. I thank you for your attention.